Hello and welcome to this episode of Love for AP50s. We're going to be talking about the seat today that I fitted using the M8 bolts. Not the M8, the JIS 8mm bolts. I had to get someone to cover the seat for me because it was just a bit too much. I did feed the wire around the pit replica seat cover I used because on the original seat cover there is a wire that goes around this return. That's to make sure that the clips that hold the cover on don't pull off. I used 0.8mm stainless wire. It's only about £3 from any of the eBay craft shops. It's a bit of a nightmare to put the wire in because there isn't really the amount of room that the original had. So it's like putting on a very poor fitting neck curtain wire. Now before you fit the seat cover, you have to fit this little rubber trim that goes around the edge of the seat base to stop any damage occurring to the seat cover. And you have to glue the seat foam on to make sure it's in the right place. If you don't glue it on, this gap here, the front of the foam tends to move and it comes out wrong. You can make sure the seat cover's in the right place by lining up the seat base with these holes here. Now, this is a pattern seat base, which is pretty good. It just needs a bit of dressing around the edges to make it evenly thick or thin. This is a very good original base and a very good original foam. It should really have had a layer of Dacron or a very thin layer of foam over the original foam base, because when the seat cover was fitted we couldn't line up this stitched seam with the base of the seat, which it should sort of be like that with the stitch seam just over around the corner. But this is a little bit further round to take up the slack in the seat cover. It was then gently heated with a hot air gun because there were marks where the seat cover was folded and it was a little bit loose. The heat seemed to even some of the slack out and got rid of the crease. Now when you fit the seat cover, you got to remember that you're working with these little holes in the seat base. So the easiest way to get the holes is to put a little piece of tape with a pen line on the base, so when the cover's fitted you know exactly where you've got to pierce the cover. Otherwise you spend a long time trying to find the holes and you stand every chance of putting a hole in the seat cover where you didn't want it to be. Now this is also a very good original trim. PK seats do a pattern trim, but they do like to fit it. I think it's because it comes as a straight trim and they've got to bend it round, and they charge about £75 to supply and fit a trim. Now the trim, the little the little studs that hold it on are like this. Now they're bent over so that sometimes when you take them off, there's not enough meat on them to put on the the star clips. So I've found these, which are aluminium nails. What good they are as nails, I don't know, but they're the same size. They fit in the trim, and the extra length allows you to pull onto the stud when you're putting on the star clips. Now the star clips I've found has new ones that do not look exactly the same as the originals. I tried the smallest size of the original looking ones, but they're too big. They don't grip the studs, even the original studs. Now you've also got to put the strap on. Now the strap comes with no holes. The easiest way to make the holes in the strap is to use a socket, putting the strap onto a metal thing like the end of a vice, putting the socket down and striking the socket a number of times. As you can see, this I used for the strap before, and it's still got some of the strap inside there. You measure the distance between the two holes using your old strap, because that's the strap that fitted the foam that you've got, unless you're going to be using the new foam, and then you have to work out the distance yourself, but you can still use the strap as a guide to at least tell you where it goes. Now the strap's bolted on underneath here with a half size 8mm JIS nut, a washer and an R-clip, and there are also two rectangular rubbers that go on the seat base to protect and stop any rattling. I think it's at the back somewhere. From the base, the seat is then slotted onto the retaining point at the front, and then the bolts fitted. Now I was lucky with this in that the bolt holes lined up really easy, but what you may have to do is remove the two bolts at the front here to allow you to get the bolts in at the back. Now there are special bolts available for the seat that have got a tapered end, which makes it easier for finding the hole with the seat and the bumper in place. Now the seat goes between the bumper and the mudguard, and that's about that. So have fun with your seats, and we'll speak again soon.